What's up guys, Pro Strat number 10, where pros do strats. And Avangar ran the strategy against Winstrike in the Blast Pro Series Moscow 2019 CAS Closed Qualifier. This match was the upper bracket semifinals and not the consolidation finals where these two teams would meet again and play. The strategy involves a neat little smoke on Escalator, which is the fast cat boxes. It allows the T's to swing out wider past elbow and try to take the site. And I say try because Avangar got shut down really hard with a neat CT setup that essentially hard countered this strategy that Avangar had in mind. The round in its entirety had a lot to dissect, but let's look at Avangar's POV first. Adren's going to throw this one-way smoke that we've been seeing a lot in Pro Dust2 games lately. He's also going to throw some support flashes that land above and behind the entry route of Avangar. Logi throws the Escalator smoke, which gives him a little more room than usual. He also throws support flashes and swings, but isn't ready for Edward to be in that weird spot near Ninja. Keeker also throws flashes and swings. He makes contact with the CT at A ramp, but ends up dying to Alien's op instead. Buster does throw a flash towards ramp, but team flashes Avangar slightly. Alien is supposed to be blind from this flash, but can see it coming from a decent mile away, so he turns and isn't blind, and continues to pick off Avangar as they try to pass himself. James tries to draw a bit of a rotate by throwing a nade set to indicate a mid-B split. But this fake was really bad for a few reasons that I'll explain later. Eventually he groups with this team to go up cat, but he's left in a weird 1v3 situation that he can't win and has no time, so he ends up saving. So overall, the strategy in theory was relatively sound and nothing too crazy. Here we see Alien's perspective. Notice how he only holds the angle that's at the edge of the rightmost smoke, which is the fast cat smoke. He's just looking for clear shots on people crossing into the site where they don't have cover, which is the ideal way to play this not only 3-1-1 setup, but to play against a cat take. Edward's position is actually viable since most people are throwing that one-way smoke to set up for a cat take. The only thing is that you have to let that smoke pop first and then move into this position, which can be a little scary. You can also do this because of how late it is into the round, and this hit is most likely the committal considering the time, even more so because of the poor attempt at faking the mid-B split. You can see Avangar is not even close to considering that this is a possible spot. Here's Norbert's POV from this round. He's rotating from the B bomb site when he hears the mid-B smoke and the Molotov. He checks it by jump spotting near window and can clearly tell that this is not a committal. From what Norbert can see here, the mid-B smoke looks a little off and looks to have a gap on Norbert's right side, which means it's probably not a committal, because if you were to actually come out mid-B, you wouldn't throw a bad smoke. There's no way you would throw a bad smoke. Secondly, that Molotov is to clear close mid, and that popped after the smoke. Normally when you want to take mid-B, you want to clear close mid first before you start throwing your smokes and start clearing out to push. The sequencing of the smoke and the Molotov doesn't make sense in a true mid-B split, so Norbert's a little wary and knows that it's not going to be a mid-B split at all and just stays on the bomb site. Norbert probably could have just rotated to A immediately, but considering they're running a 3A setup, there should be more than enough people to handle the rush. Alright, so to throw the smokes. For the one-way on cat, get in the middle of this fencing. Above this rectangle window thing, there's a rectangular decal right there. You just want to aim at the top of it and left click throw. This smoke is super common nowadays because it not only allows you to swing out of cat if you want to commit, but also gives you a one-way right here. It gives you a one-way right here, which allows you to fight anyone rotating into A or is just caught off guard. For the Escalator smoke, I've found it to be really difficult to throw. The most consistent way I've had is with Classic View Model, and looking at the pin, the left tip of the pin, you want to put it so that it's touching this little white speck right here. Just like that, and a little tiny bit up, and then left click throw. So let's throw both smokes at the same time. So we got this, and we got that. So now I can swing out this way. I can fight people on sight, and anyone car can't actually see me if I stay a little more towards the back of cat here, the back wall here. Like I mentioned before, James threw a smoke, molly, and I believe also a flash to try to fake a mid B split. He kind of just like offhand threw one like this and like that, jumped down and threw a molly here. I think this nade set, wow, I actually got that really good. I think this nade set would have been better used in the A hit itself. He could have thrown a drop down smoke, which you can do by getting to this corner of this metal door garage thing, aiming at this corner of the wall here, and then left click throw. This would have enabled a drop down strategy in which you just drop down. And now you have two angles to fight primarily this awper here. That's the main intention, but you can also fight anyone else that's like ramp or let's say car, for example. Along with that, he could have thrown the Molotov into mid-sight if someone was mid-sight that round. In the round that I showed, there wasn't anyone sight, but if there was, there could have been. He also could have thrown a flash, another flash, into the same area. Buster did throw one, but that one flash obviously wasn't enough to stop the awper from getting picks, so if this flash was used in this way, maybe it could have helped the round out. Final thing to add, if you do want to throw a flash or Molotov into ramp through this smoke, what you can do is stand by the cat brick here, so this part of the box is flat. At the bottom half of this slant here is the height you want to aim at, and then you just want to aim like just into the sight vaguely and then throw a flash. This is going to land deep enough to not blind your teammates, but also to catch this awper here if he's too focused on being scoped in. You can also throw a molly, same idea, just halfway up the slant, just somewhere into the sight here. This is going to create pressure for the ramp player to be in a weird spot. You know, he has to like look at this and make sure he's not dying, and you can usually catch him off guard. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and like the video if you like the video.